What's up, everyone? So thanks for tuning in. I got beat up today again. I am happy to say I'm green, but not by much. So I'm up 83 bucks on the day today, realized. And I just want to show you where I made some mistakes. I did well today, and I guess I didn't take close notice to my share size that I was going in. So I made a drastic mistake on FLGC, which I will show you in a minute. But let's go ahead and dive into it for right now. So yeah, today traded, I'm up 83 bucks end of day here. And it was tough, but pretty much the entire morning here, I should say afternoon. I actually missed this morning. I had an appointment, doctor's appointment. And I didn't even start trading today until, what was it, later in the afternoon. So for me to go from 0 up to $745, which was my high at that point in time for the day, to only now being up 83 bucks is really drastic. So most of the money was made on APDN. So let's take a quick look at APDN here. This one for me was the most obvious mover, and however, it was kind of choppy a bit. And I feel like this is just a kind of continuation of a similarity of what's been going on in the market lately in the small cap world. It's like I just feel like it's chop season, and things are a bit irrational, but very tons of false breakouts and all kinds of stuff. There is momentum, but some of it is just choppier to trade. So APDN was the one I traded. Now I want to look at my first trade. When did I start my first trade? 12:45 today. So yeah, it was actually right into this area here. As you can see on APDN, there was no volume all day long until we hit the afternoon. Then it just ramped up very fast, very quick. We had a huge, look at this, huge candle to the upside, no warning, right into a halt. And so I guess what happened here is people got excited about it, hopped on it, opens up from the halt, gaps up a pretty big chunk, and starts trading higher, and eventually just kind of does a range here, but kind of can go sideways, consolidates a bit, has a bit of a drop off, and more consolidation. We get this rip through, which was a little bit more of a slow climb. I like when we have a kind of bigger candles, bigger, smoother candles going up to the high side, but this was just like, slow candle after slow candle. There was a big candle in there, but for the most part, you had to kind of wait it out and just ride that one out to really get the money on that one. And then here, as you see, we kind of hit this high, we get this pullback, and I did trade it in here a few times, few scalp trades, thinking I'd go for a pullback and wait for it to pop a bit. So I was able to sell on these pops, but I thought we'd have some continuation, and we didn't. Sold off a bit, and then it just reversed, goes up, goes past the high of the day, goes all the way up to 747, and nasty sell. Look at this huge red candle to the downside, and then that trend continues all the way down, and then look at this craziness. Later on, we get this just irrational out of nowhere. Here, this thing is consolidating, and I would understand like a bit of a push to the higher side, one or two candles to the high side, but in smaller increments. And just for this thing to completely it's like it just it's like cutting a dog off of a leash that's like staring at a steak or something. I don't know. It just explodes, no warning, and goes right into another halt. So kind of tricky stuff. And I think I did have a short in here. I'll go back to the chart and show you guys, but I figured this thing was going up. So I did trade it to the high side, to the long side, and to the short side in this area here, because I thought, with this huge move up here, we might have a little bit more momentum, but we might have some potential to the downside. So I was able to get some shorting on that. And after hours, I mean, just flat, but pretty crazy stock there. So anyways, I did pretty well on it. For me, I was able to get up to 745 bucks on the day. And I couldn't just leave it there. Like, I felt like things were good, so I moved on over to the next stock, which was FLGC. I believe this is a cannabis stock, and it really got some momentum here today as well. And I didn't really even trade it until later on, and I made just a huge mistake. And I guess my share size was just too big for this thing. So I'm watching it in this area. I see we had a nice run up. It's had quite a bit of a long pullback here and then a move up. And so just seeing this area here, just thinking, okay, we got some resistance, so this could be a potential breakout area. And as it pulls back here, it eventually comes back up, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, let me hop in quickly. I'm going to hop in for this break. And I was thinking it might not break out huge and sustain it, but it could have a nice pop to break this resistance area here. So I hopped in, anticipating kind of a break of 1450. And as you can see, we didn't get it, and a dramatic sell-off. And I was holding big size. So I took a huge loss here, which was just so unfortunate, because here I am making great progress. Just going uphill, nice size bites all the way up to 745. And because of my share size and being, I guess, overconfident on this, I took that big hit. And so I went from up 745 all the way down to negative 54 bucks. And it's super hard to see that and watch that. So had I gone back in time, I definitely would have, if I was going to go for the move, just size down much more. But, I was just trying to get that potential push. And like I said, I realized it might not be a sustained massive move ahead, but at least I thought there would be a good enough move where I could capitalize and exit the position quickly, but that wasn't the case. So took a huge loss on that. And so I was sitting at that point down negative 54 bucks on the day. And thank goodness that ARCT came around. So I switched on over to ARCT. This one was spiking up at the end of the day. And thought process here, I did have just a few trades on it. Let's see. Now, I want to note that I am still holding a position on ARCT, but I'm holding it to the short side. So what happened for me was, let's see. Yeah, I had a few scalp trades. Let's see at 1535. It's a little bit earlier in the day, but I had a nice little scalp trade. And here was buying in at 51.79, going up to 52.14. So a little scalp trade there. Then I decided that this thing seems like it's pushed high enough. I'm going to hop in to go to the short side. And that's what I did. Let's see. Bought in 100 shares at 58.52. That was right in here. Yeah. So hopped in for short 58.52. And let's see. Yeah, so it went down a little bit from there, but not enough. I decided to hold it through after hours to wait for more of a further drop. And we got a little bit of a drop, and it just reversed super quick, and it had a huge shoot up here. So what I decided to do, I was still thinking that this thing was bearish, and we had this move quickly up. So I hopped in even higher. So I added to that position to go short, and I added in at 60.93. Yeah, so as this thing was popping up, I just popped in real quick, and which kind of helped me out. So what happened here was, let's see, I think I was in total share size 100 there. Oh yeah, 200 shares. And you know, after I've been sitting around in after hours here waiting for the thing to go down further and further, but we did have a further push down here, but I thought this was a pretty, I don't know, a good enough momentum to the downside to potentially break further through this area. And it looks like it just kind of consolidated there. So we did have a pull up a little bit, but obviously not much volume, not many people trading after hours. And right in here, it kind of formed a base at 56.09. So I was thinking in here, if we get just a little bit more volume, I think we'll break this area, as it seems like it's a base. Never happened. So I waited for the next go around and moved up again, went back down, but it hit that base again. So there was, I guess, enough buyers in there to kind of support this line. And I was just thinking that it would break past that. Never did. So I ended up selling only 50 shares so far of the position after hours here, and I closed out 50 shares at 58.62 towards the very end here. So that helped me put another what I guess it was like $100 on just that position there. And that helped because it made me go from, let's see, yeah, -32 on the day to up 83. So I don't know. It's just one of those things, mentally speaking. It's always nicer to be green than it is red, but it really is relative. Like, you know, $83 is not really much up on the day, so it's really not much to show. So not, you know, especially when you were previously up $745 on the day. So that's just one thing I'm you know, kind of mad at myself for. I gotta realize that it's another learning lesson, and just, you gotta, you know, stick to your strategy. For me, it's get in, get out, and when the opportunity is there, you gotta sell. Even sometimes when you think it could go further, I don't know, sometimes that doesn't work out for you. It didn't work out for me here. Because the position I had for the short was actually pretty large. 200 shares, you know, when it's at $50, that's a ton. So at this point here, I guess I got a little bit greedy, because towards the low here at 56.07, I was up about $750, so more than I made at the end of the day with my long position. So, you know, I could have cut it right there, but I thought there was just more potential to the downside, didn't get it, and I don't know. That's where I had to leave the day. So this is, let's see, let's look at the yearly real quick. I don't know. I think there was some good news on this, because in regards to, I'm looking at some of the news right now, it says shares rise after approval for vaccine trial. So that's kind of big news, you know, vaccine trial stuff. But I don't know. It could be just some fluff. It really doesn't mean a whole lot of concrete information, you know, when there's just a trial. It's good news, I guess, for the momentum, and that's why I think it might just break down the next day. But who really knows? It could go for another run, and that's kind of what I'm worried about a little bit. I am positive on the position right now. Currently, I'm up $161, but we'll have to see what tomorrow brings, because it could gap up a little bit, or it could, you know, gap down. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But anyways, that's it for the trades today. Up $83. Suffered my massive loss yesterday. Not a good way to start the month. So I'm just trying to do a little bit better, and just, yeah. Sometimes I'm just speechless. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy this one. Take care. Let me know how you traded today, if you were green or if you were red. That's it for now. We'll catch you tomorrow, Tuesday, and I'll update you on all the trades and what's going on.